Hi, my name is Johnny. I'm a pain and musculoskeletal physiotherapist at JK Pain Rehab. Today, we have a patient who suffers from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She's been receiving multidisciplinary pain program and all her pain physiotherapy treatments delivered via telehealth as she lives in Darwin. Let's hear her story and how she manages her condition.
My pain condition that I have is chronic pain syndrome on the back of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a genetic connective tissue disorder that affects all organ systems and is characterized by tissue fragility, joint subluxation and dislocation, and other complex systems. My pain is often present and shows up in multiple ways. I get joint pain from my joints dislocating and subluxing, whether that be during my day-to-day activities or in my sleep. This pain ranges from a very intense, sharp pain that lasts days to hours, as well as a deep ache type of pain that can be present for days to weeks and is just as challenging. I also get neuropathic pain where anywhere in my body can and does fire off a very sharp, intense pain anywhere at any time. And I also get head pain through migraines and tension headaches and teeth clenching. I've come to understand that while my pain is complex, it is always real. And at times, and I've learned that my nervous system has become hypervigilant to pain and at times sends pain signals even when I haven't had a new injury or dislocation. I experience pain most days, if not every day. I'd consider a pain flare-up when all of my symptoms increase in frequency, intensity, and duration across all of my conditions and symptoms. Prior to receiving my diagnosis and the proper specialist support, I was experiencing a flare-up at all times. For the last couple of years, I've been fortunate enough to be able to manage things and only experience 1 to 2 major flare-ups per year. I manage this through multiple different avenues, which I think is really important. They include engaging with my specialist team, learning how to pace my activities, and giving myself permission to do part of a job or a task at a time, as well as working with my team to create and write down a flare-up toolkit that I can reference when I'm in a pain flare-up or I'm stuck in choosing what my body needs best at that time. It's really difficult to make decisions when you're in pain, so it's great having a resource tool there for you, as well as identifying what exacerbates my conditions and making them worse, avoiding those things, identifying things that I can tolerate or that support me and trying to do them more, as well as accommodating myself in any way possible, whether that be at home, at work, if I need to go get groceries and take a little trolley on wheels with me, anything like that can go a really long way. I've come to learn through working with my specialist team that all of these other symptoms and conditions are really closely tied in with chronic pain. I also have chronic fatigue that is extremely challenging to live with on its own. So when you're adding other conditions on top, chronic pain, joint dislocations, flare-ups of allergies, digestive challenges, it can really take a toll on you overall. So having a team that can support you to work on each area that you're challenging with goes a really long way in you being able to cope with a difficult pain day, because hopefully you've also been able to support your body through your sleep, managing your fatigue, as well as mood challenges and just normal emotions that we would experience that can sometimes also make it more challenging to deal with a really high pain day. I don't think I've had someone say this to me specifically about my chronic pain not going away, but I have seen multiple specialists over a number of years prior to my diagnosis that told me that they didn't know what condition I had, and that was extremely invalidating and disheartening. Regardless of that, I've still found a lot of grief and loss in accepting my conditions, even when I had a diagnosis and received that, which is what I really wanted wanted and needed, it was still difficult to grieve the loss of not having the support earlier on, even through early childhood, where I have a lot of memories of widespread pain from early on. So besides from reveling in some good emo music, I have really found a lot of meaning in connecting with people who are living with the same challenges as me. I really wish I did that a little earlier on after being diagnosed in my late 20s. I feel quite fortunate and grateful that I've been able to connect with a few people who live with the same conditions as me, whether that be someone truly understanding what you're going through or being able to joke about difficult days in ways that other people might not be able to relate to. Yes, there's a huge difference in working with a physiotherapist who specialises in pain and chronic pain. I've seen many physiotherapists across the years, and I've received comments about being hypermobile and having an injury here or having a small subluxation there. And on its own, someone might comment just around that particular issue at that time, but they have never been able to acknowledge the systemic challenges that having a condition that infects your entire body really has on your day-to-day life. So seeing a specialist physiotherapist has enabled me to take that back to my usual physiotherapist, engage with an exercise physiologist, and just have someone with a really high level of expertise have oversight of the care that I'm receiving and just refining things that might seem like a simple change but can go a really long way in looking after myself and being able to live with my conditions. It's, I think, completely essential to have a multidisciplinary pain team. If you can access that, I know it would not be accessible to everyone, but it just seems like something that is so crucial to a complex condition like EDS and chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and other comorbidities that are really common with those conditions. Having oversight from a pain physiotherapist, a pain psychologist, pain medicine specialist. I fortunately can see Dr. Raj and Dr. Sky, specialists in a multidisciplinary team that work with a pain physiotherapist. And having oversight from a team that communicates with each other about your care and provides specialist care to you from multiple different areas goes a really long way. I really love telehealth. I'm not sure what it would be like if it was in person, but I think despite it being over telehealth, it's really fantastic. It's convenient to be able to take your phone or your laptop to work with you or anywhere else and jump straight on an appointment. And I haven't really noticed too many disadvantages with engaging with a specialist team over telehealth. I think it is much better than not having a specialist team who understands your conditions to the right level and is able to take care of you. And a lot of the time in rural areas, even remote areas beyond Darwin, it is the only option for people. I think it is really essential to bring specialist services to rural areas so that people can get the care that they deserve and that they need. If you can find a specialist team for your conditions, that would be probably the biggest change that you could make in a positive way. Specialist multidisciplinary team that works with chronic pain and specializes in that area, I found to be completely life-changing. And the rest of my take-home message would probably be to try and pace your activities out. Don't try and do everything at once, even if you really want to, or it's exciting, or you think that's what other people your age are doing or keeping up with. Sometimes it's difficult to understand or remember that not all advice is for you, and having these conditions means that you can give yourself permission and validation to do things differently.